What do you think my thumbnail should look like?
So there's no one answer fits all. Like if you think that that's like, hey, this is one answer that's going to go very specifically across all genres, all niches, then you don't really understand people very well. Cause like there's certain things that people respond to differently, and that's what the AI is looking for. But overall, one of the biggest changes that actually occurred on YouTube was in 2012. They did a little experiment where they switched the way that YouTube was looking at content and was having an AI look at it. The test was off the charts in the sense they got 5x the amount of views and more watch time. So they decided to double down on really developing an AI ecosystem. And so they looked to their parent company, which is Google, and they had a project called Google Brain, which is an AI project that's unbelievable. And they basically adopted that into YouTube in 2013. And then that's the moment when YouTube changed. That's the moment when they're really tracking how people respond to content and how they engage. Now, you asked a very specific question about video intelligence. That is one of the features that you're actually seeing on Google Brain. But what it does is it's able to identify what's actually in a photo, and it can get really granular with it because it has all the database of Google and also YouTube. So it's able to see a lot of things that have already been tagged and identified by optical. And the key of it is, yes, it's all this data. It's what we call metadata that YouTube and Google is collecting. But realistically, at the end of the day, it's like, what's going to respond to people? And that's different than just tagging something and seeing what's there and saying, oh, this could be about, the metaverse because you have, Oculus in the background or whatever, or you're talking about that in your script. But like what they're looking for is how many people actually saw it and responded to it. So say, okay, when you upload a video, the only data that YouTube has is your title, what's on your thumbnail, also what's in your video, and also your description. Now, there are also a little thing called tags that you could add, but they don't really look at that as much. And it puts it out there for a test. And the test would, that title and thumbnail will either show up on the homepage or in search or different ways that you can actually experience YouTube. And when someone sees that longer than a second or about a second, is what they call an impression, okay? And they're looking very closely at how many people see it and how many people click on it. And so if it's not gonna respond to humans and people are just kind of going by and you kind of get lost in the clutter and you're doing whatever, it doesn't matter what's happening. It doesn't matter if you have these big words that you watch this now on your thumbnail, it's not gonna engage. If it doesn't engage with people or the type of people you're trying to attract, then guess what? YouTube's gonna pretty much say, okay, that's a bad video. We're moving it along because like it's not engaging people, or there might be a high probability of them of clicking on that thumbnail. After they see the thumbnail, they're glancing at the title and they think, hey, this is interesting. They click on it. And if the video doesn't really correspond with that, if it's clickbait in the sense that, hey, you're offering this, and when they came to the video, it's not even remotely close to what you're offering, or you're trying to offer it in 8 minutes, they jump off. And that's what we call a bounce rate. And YouTube's looking at that too. Say, hey, do you not even know that the title and thumbnail is appealing, the content is not? So guess what? It's gone. You're not going to get any views or visibility on that. So that being said, every niche, every audience has a specific type of titling and content strategy that works for them as people. And one of the big things that I teach in my book is really to identify your viewer avatar. And these are people that are potential viewers that would love your content no matter what, right? And we want to be able to talk to them, and they respond certain ways. And I can tell you, there might be a Minecraft channel that are kids from 10 years old to 18 years old that are really, really engaged with a certain type of thumbnail, but it might not be the one that a Gen X or a boomer would resonate with, on a different type of content. So it's like, you got to understand who your audience is, and you're creating predictable content based off of data for them. And the best way to get data is to test things and to analyze that and adjust. That's basically the synopsis of the book.
Thanks for watching Mark Savant Media. Here we're going to help you create a better content in less time and turn that attention into income. If you love this video, you're going to love these videos here. Click the one. Me and my team specially selected this just for you. Click the link. Check out the video. I'll catch you here next time on Mark Savant Media.